Hi, my name is Mark Spurlock, one of the pastors at Twin Lakes Church, and I'm at Camp Hammer right now. I wanted to give you an update on the latest developments. We have completed, for the most part, our logging operation, 170 redwood trees and dozens of hardwoods. These were trees that were killed in the Lightning Complex fire. They were going to fall at some point, and so we removed them in advance of that. And now we're just cleaning up what remains in terms of debris, but you can see this is all fairly wide open. I'm actually next to where the oak cabin was. The most open part of camp now because, well, that's where a lot of the fuel was, between the trees and the structures. You can see down past me, down to the lower parts of camp, that's where the field is. There are a lot of wood chips. We also added some reinforcements to the entrances just to let people know that even though Big Basin is open, Camp Hammer remains closed. This property was clear cut at the turn of the century, so we don't really have any old growth trees. And so I would anticipate in the next 20, 30, 40 years, it's just going to begin to fill in all over again. And that's an encouraging thought. And so, again, thank you so much for your love of this place, your support, and your ongoing interest in all things Camp Hammer. Hello everyone, this is Mark Spurlock, one of the Twin Lakes pastors, and I'm here at Camp Hammer with two living legends because Dennis and Faye Malone were on our Camp Hammer staff for 28 years. That is amazing.
Long time.
You're still stunned.
Yeah, still stunned, yeah.
So I remember talking to the two of you in 1988 about coming up to camp and working. And I mean, that would disrupt your lives. You had to move. Why in the world did you say yes?
It's because we just felt the Lord was nudging us to go. And I was actually a young Christian. Didn't accept the Lord till I was 25, and so we were married, newly married, and trying to figure out what to do and doing the normal stuff. And then we got this phone call, and it was a guy named Mark Spurlock, and said, "Hey, I want to talk to you about an idea." And 28 years later, we're at camp.
What were your names up here at camp?
My name was MC, which stood for Mr. Clean.
Okay, and that's related to at least where you started.
I started, so I did that for 9 years.
Okay.
I was in charge of that.
And then you went on to be our facilities director?
Facilities director from 1998.
Wow.
After Rich left and I was in charge of the facilities, there's a lot going on here. That was always a joy to me, just to be able to be behind the scenes.
How about you, Faye?
My camp name was Mum because I came from Canada and we called Mom there, and I could keep a secret, so Mum was the word and Mum is a flower.
And you were like the mum for the summer staffers, and what a wonderful ministry. Over the years, what are some of the things that you remember, either from working or just living here? What are the things that kind of float to the surface when you think back on those 28 years?
Well, to me, it was all wonderful. I mean, our kids were here. We had 100 acres. They were young. We raised them. We were right here at camp. We were able to homeschool with a little local homeschool program. I was able to work after they were older, and I worked at camp.
Okay.
Hearing the sounds of camp being in progress, and the ringing of the bell that everybody that's been in camp knows that it rings a lot, and it's just something about it that this you just know that there's activities going on, that there's all these kids that are getting to be a kid, because to be a kid is getting harder and harder to experience that.
Yeah.
So I would think back when I was a kid and how much fun I would have had. So if I could help provide a place that could serve in that capacity, we're all in.
You retired back in 2017? 2017. And take me to the moment when you heard about the fire and what it had done here at camp.
The shock is probably the first thing, and then kind of just not even believing it. and then that it can't be true because it's camp. And how could a fire come through and destroy the whole place? You know, it was just like a dream. Like I just couldn't believe that it was really going on. And then to see the pictures and everything come through afterwards, and it just cemented even more the time we were here and how much we could appreciate it, because now it can be revitalized and redone, but we still have those memories, can't get burned out of our minds and hearts.
Yeah. If you had known 28 years ago that this fire was going to happen, would you do it all over again?
In a minute. In a minute. Because all the people that have come through in all those years and seeing lives being changed, seeing parents drop their kids off on a Sunday and then seeing them pick up the same kids on the Saturday, they were a different family going home. And the impact that those kids had with their families, whether if they were non-believers, and even if they were, it just made that family closer, or it made them open their eyes more that, wow, there's really something to this place.
Wow. All right, Mom, you were looked to as this person of wisdom and and just comfort for so many people. So there's a lot of folks who, you know, this was such a devastating event for so many people, more people than I'm even aware of, to be honest. And how do you give some perspective to, you know, you're here right now in camp, and yet is there a spiritual perspective or some other type of perspective that you have regardless of the fire?
The space is the same. It just looks different, and the power in this place is still here. And it's going to be really exciting to see what God does from here on.
Amen. Amen.